been so long. So boom. If y'all have been tuning in and tuning in and tuning in and tuning in, y'all would know that I've had a series going on. It's still on my channel. Like you can still see it if you click my channel right now. Oh, before I get to yapping, don't forget to follow this page. I'm at 29 followers right now. Be my 30th follower. Like, wouldn't that just be so amazing? But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the same as my Twitch, just with live at the end. That's Live. Again, it's JANELLEEE with the XO at the front. So yeah. But anyways, let me tell y'all. The queen the queen got fired. And you know what? Is it, can I not keep a job or can the jobs not keep me? Because at this point, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, let's really talk about it because it's so hard first to get the job. Then when you get the job, the people disrespecting you the whole time. So it's like, what I'm even, what are we doing? And not gonna lie, one thing about me, like I might be nice and sweet, and I'm definitely going to be nice and sweet, and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do when I'm getting told what to do, especially if I'm new. But if you want to disrespect me, I might as well just, we're not gonna have a fun time. I don't do well with the disrespect and the stuff like that. Like I can't just sit down and shut up. That's one thing about it. If you know me or anybody around me, they would tell you the same thing. Like, I cannot and will not shut up. And maybe that's a bad thing or whatever the case may be because obviously I'm unemployed now. But it is what it is. I regret nothing. I was probably going to quit anyway. Well, I definitely was going to quit anyway because, oh, period. Wait, my bad. I was definitely going to quit anyway because, um, what's it called? I just, I wasn't, oh, I don't go to school down here, so it just wouldn't have made sense. I was thinking about coming home the weekends, but I'm going to be working where I go to school at too, so it's just like, that wouldn't have made any sense. And the days I'm not working, I'm definitely going to be outside, so that job was gonna get quit anyway. Either way, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, wait, let me check something right quick, and then I'm gonna check in with y'all. Just gotta make sure it don't say like Roblox or nothing. But yeah, so this is what happened. This is what happened. Let me pull up my notes, aka my messages, so I could really see. And also, this other child keep texting me, like literally just texting me, like why are you still texting me? Like, okay, I didn't get the job. No, like, oh, I understand. I applied for this. I applied for this other job as well when I was doing my job search, and they emailed me, sent straight to my phone, by the way, just to deny me. I'm like, okay, y'all could have kept that, and then gonna text me again the same message and send me the same email. Did I apply more than once or something? Cause I don't remember doing all that, but I guess. Okay, let me go to my notes. Mm-mm-mm. What rush, maybe. Because I typed a good little paragraph. Oop. and when I say, a good little paragraph, like I was livid. Livid. Okay, let's get started. I said, mm-mm. And was I venting or was like, did some things need to change? I don't know. But these are the messages. So I'm gonna try to like say the messages so I don't forget and all this other stuff. So I think it was a Friday. It was I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do. Okay, I think it was a Friday. And then okay, it was a Friday, and mind you, I'm new to the job at this point. Like I only been here like what, a week, like genuinely. So boom, I'm just now getting starting to meet everybody and stuff like that. Boom, one of the first days I met the manager and this one of my other coworkers. Both of them were cool. Manager super cool. He giving me all my props. Say I'm doing my best. Da, 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 da. Mind you, the first 3 days, like the first 2 or 3 days or whatever the case may be of work, I had a lunch rush. I was in the middle of a lunch rush. So mind you, I never had to make food for a job. Like I worked retail and I worked at an amusement park. I've never done food, so I was like, maybe this is a good chance. It's a good learning experience with doing whatever the case may be. So I'm like, okay, girl. Little little did I really know, like it was getting hectic in there. So I was trying my best to keep up, but I had to step back. I did not know what I was doing. Like, yes, the ingredients is this and that, but if you do one little thing wrong or whatever the case may be, they're gonna be like, oh no, just let me do it, just let me do it. Especially because it was my first like 2 3 days. Okay, cool. I wasn't really tripping, and I got paid, so I really wasn't tripping. Then, um, the day after I had those back to back lunch rushes, I was with somebody different. And I'm not really gonna talk about nobody individually because I really liked the people I was working with. It was just my boss, my former boss. And I wish he oh see, and that's what I get. That's how serious I am about this. Okay? I wish you would find this video and take the courage to try to text me. Girl, you will get blocked. But give me a second. Let me like the people I were like in shop with, working with were fine. But I'm working with I'm working with somebody else this day, somebody new. So I'm just trying to get a feel like who she is and all this other stuff like that. So she seemed cool. Like I told her, like, girl, I like you, like you cool with the wham. So that's just that. That's just that. And then we was having a conversation. She was like, have you met the boss? And I'm like, yeah, because where I was working at is privately owned. So they work in store or whatever the case may be sometimes. So she was like, have you met the boss? And I was like, yeah, like she seemed cool and stuff. She was like, little do you know. I'm like, little do I know. What do you mean by that? And when people say little do you know about the boss, baby, just know you either gonna be a bitch trying to keep your job or you gonna be a bitch trying to keep your job. So, like it was a whole lot of that going on. And I really don't pay that no mind because, yeah, I'm not finna just go off of what somebody say about you. You gonna have to show me. You genuinely gonna have to show me. So I just took what she said with a grain of salt or whatever. She was basically telling me about how she wasn't giving the boys the same treatment as the girls. She was threatening her job every day, stuff like this. I'm like, oh, girl, what? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, like, dang, like, is it gonna be a problem? Because I wouldn't want it to be a problem, but at the same time, I just take stuff like that with a grain of salt because nobody really like their bosses for real. But I don't know, when I have employees, I would hope they like me and talk good about me amongst themselves, but that's neither here nor there, so I digress. So she came in one day. I don't know if it was that same day she told me. I think it was another day that I had worked with her. She ended up coming in. So, it was cool. She was trying to get me acclimated to everything. I put in like my bank, all this, all that. So I could tell though that she kind of had a little attitude with everything she was doing, everything she was saying. It was always some petty slick stuff. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay. And then the same girl that was talking about, never mind. That's neither here nor there. That girl is cool and she ain't do nothing to me that I know of. So I digress. But anyway, I just start peeping the little stuff from the boss and stuff like that. I'm like, Okay. Like she would text me and it would just be like, I'm not saying I'm not saying you can't be stern because yeah, you my boss. You're supposed to lay down the law. Like whatever you find fit, okay, you do that. But you gonna treat me with respect though. That's all I ask. Like, is it so hard to treat somebody with respect? Like just a little bit? Like just a little bit? So yeah, I was just like, okay. It was another day. Wait, let me see. It was another day. She came in again. I think. Oh no. Wait. I don't know. It was just little petty stuff. Every time she came, like little disrespectful, little slick remarks. Oh, I almost forgot about this. My first day, mind you, baby. First of all, you got me waking up at the crack of dawn. It's summertime, and I genuinely haven't woken up this early before my job. So, you know, and I applied to multiple places. Like I applied to multiple places. So I'm not gonna lie, like I got lost. Like I got lost. I typed in the store number to my maps. It sent me to the one closest to my house, and I called and texted. And I was like, "Hey, is anybody here?" Because it was locked, and she was just like, "Oh, you're at the wrong one." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's my bad. Apologize." Whatever the case might be. I understand that it could be frustrating, but girl, I'm literally trying my best. Like I got out early, tried to get there on time, was doing what I needed to do. Boom. So I was like, when I texted her, whatever the case may be, she was like, "Oh yeah, you're at the wrong one," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm thinking it's cool or whatever." So I was like, "Okay, my bad. Sorry, I'm going to be a little bit late because they're kind of a few minutes apart." So she was like, "Okay." And then I ended up driving to work, staying overtime to make up for the time that I killed. You get what I'm saying? And I was doing what I was supposed to do. So I was just, I was just low key stressed, not gonna lie. And I did feel bad because it was my first day. But like, do I not get no grace? Like, is it too much to ask for grace as an adult? But either way, that's neither here nor there again. So, um, I thought it was cool, not cool, but I thought like we recognized the situation and talked about it, talked through it, whatever the case may be. She gonna call me at she texted me. She was like, "Call me when you get a chance." I'm like, and if you know me, I hate being on the phone, especially with somebody like her. Like I hate being on the phone. So I was like, let me call her just because she asked or whatever the case may be. So I called her. She was just being real smart. She was just like, "So what happened?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I thought I typed in the store number and they took me to the wrong one." She was like, "But didn't you apply to this one?" I'm like, "Well, yes, like she was right, but it was just her tone and diction, like the way that she was saying when she was saying and talking to me was real like snarky, like put offy. Like I don't want to make it seem like what I did wasn't like didn't hinder what they probably had planned for the day because I was 15 minutes late. Because I was 15 minutes late, but like it's about the way you talk to people. I don't know. So and I kind of charged that one to the game because I was in the wrong. So I didn't want to like keep trying to go back and forth with it or whatever the case may be. But she was just like and isn't this the one closest to your house? And then I was like, yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I just said this so I could get the job. Like it's the one that was definitely closer. And she was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Who are you talking to?" So at this point, baby, don't even worry about it. So I just I'm looking at the phone like, who are you talking to? But again, I turned to the game because I was in the wrong. Like I can't admit when I'm wrong and I was wrong. I definitely should have thought for more than 2 seconds, but baby, I had just woke up. Not gonna say I was rushing, but I was trying to get there on time, trying to be punctual, and I started driving, put the directions on, clicked the first thing after putting in the store number, and I thought it was gonna take me to the store shit, but apparently not. And I went to the wrong store, and this is my bad, but yeah. So this is the situation that I would say think got me fired, but I really feel like I got fired because of my hair. And I'm not really gonna go too deep into that, but I do think I got fired because of my hair. But we're gonna keep this light because I kind of don't really have any proof except for like certain comments made sometimes. So yeah. So the last I'm reading the messages now. The last day I went to work, I had a lunch rush at the end of my shift. Like literally 10 minutes before I was supposed to walk out, I had a lunch rush. Not gonna lie, I started making fools. I started making food, but I didn't get that for myself. The girl, one of the first girls that I was working with, she had shit. She had me making her food. Like she was making herself food on the clock. She ate every single thing off of that menu during her shift, like no break. Like so, I don't even want nobody to even tell me making the food at the end of my shift. I don't even think it was 10 minutes. It was 5 minutes left on my shift. Okay, cool. I started making myself some food, but then when I saw that we was having a rush, I was like, oh my gosh, let me be considerate and help the other girl. Mind you, this is a new different girl. This is a new different girl that's that I'm working with, and I'm working with her for the first and last year. But anyways, I digress. So I'm working with her or whatever. I'm like, let me be considerate, try to help her, even though I'm still new and still struggling. Maybe I could just take a load off her plate. So if you know the place I work with, our menu is longer than most places. We have like a medium-sized menu. I'm not gonna lie, as a customer looking in, it look like a lot. And it can be a lot, but when you start to get a hang of it, it's not really that much. But again, I wasn't really getting the hang of it because I'm new. So, yeah, we were working, and the girl just started stressing me. Like, yeah, the girl just started stressing me. So I'm just like, okay, let me just. I'm doing this for you, by the way, to help you, by the way. It's time for me to go, but let me put this time in, or whatever the case may be. So I stopped doing what I was doing, and I started doing the orders, working on the orders. Mind you, I put the sides out. Like when I'm done heating up the sides, I put the sides out, not out toward the customer, but out away from the food, so I could pair up the food, put it in the bag, give it to the customer. She gonna take the sides. She gonna take the sides and give it to the customers. So it kind of threw me off because in my mind, I have to pair the side up with the main thing that I was getting, so I know that I'm checking everything off the list. And plus, we had DoorDash orders, so I'm trying to do everything all at once and stuff like that. And yeah, I had to make 3 different sandwiches with 3 different sides, not including everybody else that ordered. So instead of trying to help me, she was really ridiculing everything that I was doing, like I'm not new. So she was like, well, I need this. She see me I'm literally working on the food as she's telling me what she needs. I'm like, okay. I said, I'm working on it. I'm putting the thing in the oven. She was like, I need this sandwich. Girl, you see me putting the sandwich in the oven. What are we talking about? I'm literally doing the work. So, so I got her in here steady talking to me, steady trying to tell me something, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm losing track because and I'm like, did you get a size to the customer? She like, yeah. But we never do that. So for you to do that, she just threw me off. Not gonna lie. And I was just like, okay. And then she was like, after you finish with that, you good or whatever the case may be. I'm like, are you trying to dismiss me? Bitch, you on the same level as me, hoe. I think. I'm not sure, actually. But shit to me. Shit. But yeah, so she doing all that other stuff. And I eventually gave the sandwich to the customer, and it was really late. But mind you, the customer ordered so much, and it was so many DoorDash orders. And mind you, I think everybody just kept forgetting that I was new. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I get my food, heat it up, wrap it up, get out. Like, clock out, get out, whatever the case may be. So I'm a little aggravated, of course. Like, I'm a little aggravated, but I was like, maybe they just be stressing during like the rush and stuff like that. Ooh, that gotta like something bit me on my face. But I was like, maybe they just stressing during the rush like that, and I shouldn't like worry too much about that. So I wasn't worrying too much about that. And two, I got a call. So I'm like, I already knew what the call was gonna be about. Like, I don't know. So she called me. Let me see. So she gonna call me like 2 days after, and immediately start accusing me of taking too long and stuff like that. And I tried to tell her the situation, but she already had a narrative of what happened in her head. Mind you, she was not there. So she was like, "Well, if you need help, you need to ask." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't need help. I just needed her not to keep talking to me while I was trying to finish the thing for the customer because it was confusing me." And she was getting on my, like, she was trying to get on my ass, and she was just being so disrespectful. And it was just like in her head what she already had an idea what happened, especially when you knew and stuff like that. Of course they're gonna trust the people who been there. So it's just like it was she said versus she said. So I knew there was no winning that conversation. And she was but yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna let nobody talk to me any type of way. So I told her I didn't need help. Like, the more the girl was trying to rush me and be rude and give the customer the food I already made. Oh yeah, she was rushing me and gave the customer the food I already made, and it was just throwing me off. And I told the girl to give me a second, and she didn't. So what are you really talking about? And I'm like, okay. And then before this, I was asking her about the work app because I was confused on how the app worked. And she was like, "So what's the problem? You think you're not gonna get paid?" I'm like that's what I'm saying. It be slick stuff like that. She was like I would genuinely ask a question. I would be like, "Yeah, I don't see like my shifts on the work app. Like, how do I look at it?" Because I didn't know it was two different sections or whatever. She was like, "What's the problem? Like, what are you asking?" I'm like, "Bitch, who are you?" Okay, cool. So it was just, I don't know, it was stuff like that. And I was telling her I didn't see the days before June on my app, and she was being rude, like, what? But I let her have it. And and I could tell she had people listening on the conversation because before we started talking, she muted and then unmuted. You know how you could hear the sound and stuff like that, but I still don't team about me. I don't play. And I don't give a fuck if that other girl was in the room. I said what I said. That girl was rushing me. She was being rude. Bye. And then she didn't schedule me for a week, y'all. And she says to me, schedules are out now. So I was like, I didn't get scheduled for a week. Like, I'm fired. And that's when I was talking like on this channel about my series and stuff. I think I even, yeah, definitely on my clip page on TikTok is XOJanelleee with 3 E's clips. I was talking about how, am I fired? Like, I'm not scheduled for a week. That's crazy. So let me show y'all. just just a mess. I already knew. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe she's just being petty, but I ain't begging for no work. Ever. Ever. So cool. I was going on the app and stuff like that. I was trying to see if there were any shifts I could pick up though, but it wasn't anything and stuff like that. But she also approved my off request, and which is also why I did think I still had work. I just didn't have work that week because I think she may have gotten offended from the phone call because the call ended like she was like, okay, and I was like, no, I had got quiet because if I would have kept talking, baby, I would have gotten disrespectful and lost my job on the phone. So then ended up hanging up, whatever the case may be. Let me go to this. Let me go to these messages. Oh yeah. So I'm texting her, not getting a reply. So, okay, cool. Then I asked when I'm getting paid. No text back. Okay, cool. And then I text her again. I was like, so I was wondering if there's anything I should be doing on my end. No text back. Okay, cool. Then she gonna text me the next morning and say, mind you, this shit's so unprofessional. I didn't get a packet. I didn't get a reason. I didn't get a nothing. Like, I think what happened was she just got offended. That's what happened. She got offended that I wasn't finna go for none of the shit she was talking about. So she fired me. And she texted me, she was like, "Good morning. Last time we spoke, I did not feel like you wanted to be a part of our team. You didn't feel like I wanted to be a part of your team. You're projecting. You didn't want me to be a part of the team." When, like, what? Because I got quiet on the phone after you was talking, because if I would have said anything, I would have cut your ass out. Okay. Then she said, so because of what I was getting from you, because of what you was getting from me, mind y'all, I never even said anything disrespectful to this lady. I was just defending myself. I'm not finna just take shit I know I didn't do, especially on purpose. Like, what? Hello? She was like, it's best you move on with your summer without being part of the team. You will need to drop off your shirt, hat, and name tag to the cafe. When you do, then I will release your check to you. And then she said, let me know when you're able to drop off items. Like I said, oh, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. Like I said, I need to get a stand. Because I get too angry. I start beating on the desk start falling, the camera start falling, or whatever case may be. But yeah. So, like I said, I'm not begging for no job. I did it because I did need some money. But when it comes to my dignity and respect to some money, I'm always choosing my dignity and my respect. Like, what are we talking about? I'm never going to let nobody talk to me any type of way so I can keep a job that's barely paying anything. Bitch, please, ho. So I texted her and I said, I'm on the way. I never received the name tag, but I have everything else. I didn't even send a period. It wasn't even on no petty shit. It's just like, let me get the fuck. For real. I said, let me get out. So boom. She said, okay, I will be at the location today. Okay, I will be at the location today. Okay, cool. Let's refer to that last message. When you drop off your stuff, I will release your check to you. Okay, cool. I texted her 7 minutes after she sent her message. And I said, I'm here. I go in the building. I go to the back. She is not there. I'm like, okay, cool. I wait. And I wait. I wait 30 minutes. I wait 30 minutes for her to get there. Nothing. I wait 30 minutes for a text back. Nothing. Okay? I call her. Mind you, still not on no disrespectful shit. Because you felt like you was doing what you needed to do for the corporation that's probably barely paying to keep your lights on. That's cool. I texted her. I'm like, well, I didn't text her. I was like, let me not text, because at this point, what do I say? I called her. I'm like, hey, this is exactly how I said it. I kid y'all not. I was like, good morning. This is Janelle. I'm at the cafe right now. When do you think you'll be able to get here? No, I said, are you on the way? She said, like, she let out a sigh. She was like, Janelle, I cannot tell you when I'm going to be at this location. I work for 3 other spots, and I cannot tell you when I'm going to arrive. I work more than just this location. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, okay. I just wasn't knowledgeable of the information. Like, literally just asking for communication. She like, yeah, thank you. And I'm like, excuse you? Mind you, if you weren't there, the least you could have done is text me. To be on her phone all the time. Even when she was in our store, she was just on the phone. Like, what are we talking about? I know you're on that phone. Ho, please be serious. So at this point, I'm like thrown off. I'm overly thrown off at this point. Low key a little livid. Like at that point, I'm aggravated. At that point, I'm aggravated. And mind you, I was sitting outside. Well, not outside my car, but my door was open because I drove there with no gas, and my intention was to get gas after I got my check. So yeah, didn't get my check that day. Didn't get my check that day. So I'm like, okay, cool. After that phone call, I was like, let me just leave. Let me just leave the spot, leave the spot, leave the spot. So I go get some gas. I'm still like in the area though. So I'm low-key kind of still waiting because I really wanted my check. So then I start driving home. As soon as I get in my house and sit on my bed, she gonna text me and say, I am here. Where's the uniform? Y'all want to know the difference between when I called her and when she said she was there? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. If she would have asked me to wait 10 minutes, said she was coming in the next 10 minutes, or came and handled her business. Oh my gosh. And she was like, I don't want to go all the way out there. Like, what? If she would have had the slightest bit of communication, or at least would have told me when she was going to be in shop so I can deliver what I needed to her, then that's professional. But there was no professional communication whatsoever. So at this point, I'm like, she do not respect me. She never respected me. And she got me fucked up. So at this point, I'm not gonna lie. I'm mad. Like, I'm mad. And I'm like, am I really finna get back in my car and drive back? And my answer was no. Hell no. So I said, I'm back at my house. I will return my uniform when I collect my check. Period. She gonna say, okay, it is here. I will put it in the safe. So reach out to the manager before you come. And I ain't text her back because, bitch, fuck you. Just like that. Just like that. I'm not saying too much. I'm not doing too much. Like, we not finna do that. Just fuck you. Like, genuinely though. But it did take like 2 more days because I was gonna come the next day. Texted the manager, okay. And before I get talk about the manager for real, I'm not really gonna be talking about the manager for real because the manager didn't even do me nothing. I didn't even think he realized like I was getting fired till I got fired. So yeah. And I could be wrong about all this information because I don't know these people like that. But then again, I digress. Like, I'm talking about being wrong about the fruits of their labor, like their character. I'm not talking about like the information and the experience that I had personally. But yeah. So I text the manager and I'm like, hello, will you be in the cafe tomorrow? Some. Just a real professional message. And he was just like, he wasn't going to be there until the next day. So I was just like, okay, cool. I was going to use that day to just decompress, de-stress from all the stuff. But it was, girl, listen. I was just like, okay, cool. So then he eventually told me like when he was in shop and stuff. And then I went, turned my stuff in and got my check. And yeah. He didn't even really say anything to me. Like, he wasn't messy or nothing like that. He just gave me my stuff and we know about my day. I was gonna say something about it, but like I said, I'm not begging for no job. I never want to be in a space, so I have to convince somebody to keep me around. So yeah. And that's neither here nor there though. Like, fuck that job. Fuck that job. I don't like when people when people take my niceness for granted, like, what have I ever? When have I ever? You know, it genuinely gets to a point. So yeah, I've been waiting to tell this story for a long time though, long time. I just wanted to get my check first. I didn't want nobody to low key find this account and be like, oh, this, and that. And that's why they produce was rotten and moldy, and they still made us serve it after I told them. I need to call in a health check, a safe inspection on tropicals. Allegedly. This is all alleged. That is also why, like, I hate working. I want to work for myself. Like, every goal that I have ever had in life dealt with working with myself. Even when I'm going to college, I'm majoring in political science, and the goal is to work for myself regardless of what I do. With the streaming stuff, I feel like this the most I done worked for myself. This and YouTube, like, I have to work for myself. I cannot handle people telling me, well, not even telling me what to do, because authority, okay, but disrespecting me on a daily basis and think I'm just gonna take it because I work for you, bitch, please, oh.